Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are back in War Thunder looking at some more rare vehicles I've been able to get over the years. So we're on to the UK now, and after sorting out this list, there isn't a ton, so I think I will actually add in the Japanese ones as well. So we start off in the British tree with the Gladiator Mark IIs. This is a biplane, and it's an incredibly fast biplane. It's got a wonderful skin on it, and it also has 4 7.7s with 2,000 rounds. Now the great thing about these 7.7s that Britain gets, it gets the IT API belt, which in my opinion is one of the best belts against other biplanes. For a biplane, being able to go 420 kilometers an hour is pretty special, but the skin itself is just really nice, which is why I like flying this plane when I just want to relax. Moving on, we have a bunch of A20G knockoffs. We have the Havoc, which I believe is the one you can actually buy. So this is the Havoc Mark I. It sits at 1.7 with 4 7.7 millimeter Brownings. But then we have some special ones. We have the Boston Mark I, which is the one that I believe you can't buy. They put it on sale for a limited time period, and then they gave it away in some challenges, I believe, and I picked it up in the challenges. I wish I'd bought it at the time, but unfortunately you can't get everything you want. So this has 4 7.7s, and then it has two Vickers K machine guns in the back, one at the bottom, one at the top, and it's overall a fun aircraft, slightly less powered than the A20G when it comes to guns and engines, but that's about it. Then we have the DB7, which is the French version of the A20G. It has the Mach 1934s, the 7.5 millimeters. So if we see a French tree, I'm sure the DB7 will be in it. It also has the 7.5 millimeter Max on the back. The skin on this is absolutely beautiful, and then we have the Vichy Air one as well, which isn't that much different if you want to compare them. See, there's nothing crazy different about them, even if there is anything different. There we go, it actually loaded in this time. You can see it has the engines done up, and it's just quite bright and nice, and that's something that you want sometimes. For some reason I have this skin, even though it shouldn't let me, which is kind of interesting. Anyway, moving on from the A20G ripoffs, we have the D521. Now, there is another D52 in this game. There's the D520, and I really want to get my hands on the D520 just to be able to have all of the French aircraft in this game, which I believe there's only 3 of them. But this is an interesting aircraft. Unfortunately, it has kind of died off because of power creep. We have one 20mm Hispano 404 in the nose here. If we just go to X-ray, it's right here through the engine. And then it has 4 7.5mm Mach 1934s, which actually do a ridiculous amount of damage. If you want guns to saw off wings, these are the ones that you want to go for. And also you get 2,700 rounds with them. The issue with the D521 sitting at 3.3 is that over time we just got a ton of vehicles into the game which are just better than it, just simply better than it, whether it comes to armament or whether it comes to maneuverability. The D521 is incredibly heavy in the nose, so when it comes to gaining altitude and stuff like that, it doesn't do a great job. So when it starts facing stuff like P63s, and BF109s, it really does struggle against them. So I hope that it gets its BR reduced at some point so I can fly it again. But at this moment in time, it is kind of just sat here in my hangar gathering dust. But I'd love to get the D520, which is very similar to the D521. The only real difference is its model is slightly different. But anyway, let's move on to the Boomerangs. Now, the Boomerangs aren't anything special. I'm pretty sure you can buy them if you want. But I just wanted to highlight these vehicles because I think they're really interesting. Just the design and also the guns with 220mm Hispanos and 4 7.7mm Brownings with 4,000 rounds of ammunition. It's kind of ridiculous how much ammunition these guys have. But it's another thing I kind of lost faith due to power creep, and it's kind of the other way around. It's great at turning, but in the energy fighting department it kind of gets owned over and over again. So hopefully the two boomerangs do come back into favor. And also, if you are looking for an interesting and fun premium, I think the Boomerang is one to go for. I believe you do have to buy the first one before you buy the second. I was able to get the Boomerang during the Summertime Madness event, and that was one of the worst events in War Thunder's history because it was specifically designed so you weren't able to get all of the aircraft. You had to focus on one of them, and even then you probably weren't going to get it. So yeah, it is nice that we've moved away from that format in War Thunder. And I believe I got the Mark 1, and then I got gifted a pack, which included the Typhoon Mark 1B. So then I bought the Boomerang Mark II just to be able to have it. So yeah, there's that one. Then if we go to the army, well, we have the Grant M Mark I, or the Cruiser Tank Mark I, I should say. This is a big fat tank, and somebody told me that the red paint is basically an anti-rust layer that they would put on before the actual paint of the vehicle. So this would be kind of like factory new in a way, and then they would paint over the top of it. So that's the reason why the tanks are red. It's still kind of useless in the game itself, but it's at least interesting. This is the main camo that it has. It still isn't very useful unless you're on a desert map, and also the winter camo is very nice. So the difference between the Grant Mark I and the Lee is obviously the turret. As you can see here, it's a different turret. Is it a good vehicle? Not particularly. Is it fun to use? Yeah, it's pretty fun to use because it takes ages for people to kill it. You can see the amount of crew in this thing, and they're all a bit spread out, so unless you hit some ammo on the side, it seems to survive quite long. A lot of people just shoot you in the top turret though. But still, it's okay. This was another challenge vehicle that I was able to get, so I have both Grand 1s now in the game. Then there's the A13 Mark I 3rd Royal Tank Regiment. I'm pretty sure you could probably still buy this one. This one was given, well, not given, you had to buy it to unlock the British tech tree after the fact if you didn't buy the bundles. It was the first premium tank which wasn't a bundle vehicle for the British, and well, the A13 isn't great in game. It has no armor. It probably suffers from the hull break mechanic nowadays, but it was fun just to run about in. It is an incredibly quick tank, even on some rough terrain. Moving on to the last vehicle for the UK, we have the Excelsior, and of course, I actually really enjoy this tank. I did a video on it a few weeks ago when I unlocked it. It's basically a fast Cromwell which is up-armored. It has absolutely no reverse gear though, like it goes back at 1 kilometer an hour. So once you're in danger, it's very hard to get out. But if you do come across one of these things, just shoot it in the turret. I mean, it has 140 millimeters of armor, which does sound kind of dangerous, but when it's 4-0, you should be able to pen that. If you can't shoot that, then try and aim for this flat bit here, and it is 115. As long as you hit it flat with stuff like a long-barreled 75, you should be able to go through it. Never shoot it in the tracks. It's a waste of time. It won't go through. It will just hit the tracks. But yeah, it's a fun little tank. I actually really enjoy it. I think it's one of the best challenge vehicles that they've given away, just because it's unique. Even though it's kind of like a Cromwell, it's a unique vehicle in itself. So by doing all the challenges, because you get something unique, it feels good. It feels good that you were able to get something which a lot of other players don't have. So that's all of the British vehicles. So we're going to move on to the Japanese, where there isn't many that I have that other people don't have. So we have the Hago Commander, which I'm pretty sure most people have. It's very similar to the CR32. If you played a mission on a certain day, or if you won a battle, I'm not exactly sure which one it was, you got the Hago Commander, and it's, you know, it's just a Hago with a different skin. That's basically it. There's nothing else to it. But the skins on the Japanese tanks I really do like. I hate this skin though. Absolutely despise it. But the winter ones are okay. So that's the Hago Commander. And then there's the heavy tank number 6, where you had to buy a special bundle to get into the Japanese tech tree before everyone else, and also get a tier 3 premium, very similar to the G55S that they've just given away for the Italians. Now the reason I got this is because I knew I enjoy the Tiger quite a lot, and also I knew that the Japanese wouldn't really have any heavy tanks around this BR, so it would be a good complement to my lineup, and it has been, and it's also helped me grind out a lot of the tree. I'm not really enjoying the Japanese though, so that's probably why I haven't pushed myself further into it. Moving on to the planes, we have 2 of them. We have the Kai-10 2C, which has been taken out of the game, even though it's quite a nice little vehicle. It's very similar to the Gladiator Mark IIS, apart from, I would say its guns are a lot worse. 900 rounds of 7.7mm Type 89. The Type 89 7.7s, I would probably say, are the worst. The worst guns in game. Incredibly low velocity. Absolutely annoying as hell to be able to do anything with. And the reason is, if you look at this, AP, AI, AP, TTT, AP, AP, I, AP, 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 AI. It's basically you're chucking solid shells at people and hoping that you do a lot of damage to them, and every so often maybe you set them on fire. It's not a very fun, fun thing to use when it comes to its guns, but it is incredibly maneuverable, just like the other Kai-10s, and I wonder why they took it out the game. I don't really know why, unless there was some problem with it, but it's a fun little vehicle. It also has some nice skins on it if they want to actually pop up. Let's just try and get them to load in for you. Whoop. That should mean they loaded in. Oh, see? Look at this. How beautiful is this? And you can only buy these skins, which is kind of sad. But I think that's a really cool skin. It's even got the checkers at the bottom. And then we have the yellow-black one. Look at that. Like, why does this thing have these skins? They're so cool, but why does it randomly have these skins? Moving on to the last aircraft that I will show you in all my rare vehicles, it is the Kai-21I High. Now this was another Challenger vehicle. It was the first stage of one of the ones from maybe half a year ago. It's basically just a Kai-21. One of the interesting things about this aircraft is you may see the gun, which is just here in the cockpit. This gun is bugged. It can actually shoot straight. The gunner will actually turn the gun to fire through the cockpit at the enemy. And if you're sat in the cockpit, he can, you know, it looks like the guy is shooting at you, but he's shooting at a plane in front of you. So you can actually have some cover in front of you. I'm sure they'll fix that at some point. But at BR 2.0, it suffers basically the same thing that all the Japanese bombers suffer. The defensive armaments are pretty much useless, but this is a special Type 89, which is kind of interesting. There's 2 of them together, so great. We have 2 7.7s to cover ourselves, but bad defensive armaments, not great bomb loads. That's basically Japan for you when it comes to their bombers. I mean, 450 kilos at 2.0 is pretty good for this bomber in particular. One of the problems with it is because it's a 2.0, it's seen as the same as the Kai-21IA, but the Kai-21 or 1A or IA is worse than the Kai-21 High. So it'd be nice to see this bumped up to 2.3 just to be consistent with everything. But yeah, it's an okay bomber. I haven't used it in a while. Basically, a lot of these Challenger vehicles that I've unlocked at low tiers, I use them to grind out new vehicles to show you guys, and then I can play the vehicle, get it upgraded, and then give my opinion on it. But anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this video, and that is the end of the rare vehicles. So we'll get into some other replays and also some map analysis, especially on the new Kuban next time. So I'll see you then.